because Astrid just drew that picture of that pigeon.
Oh yeah, you're right.
She's like, some Doritos, girl.
Us too.
What do you say?
Those are professionals.
Oh yeah, it's something. We're professionals. We're professionals.
Stand by, Brad.
Hello and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm Brad Becker. This is season 19 of Red Barn Radio, and tonight is show number 704. Yippee! Is right. Red Barn Radio, roots music, southern style. To keep our staff and our musical guests safe, we will continue to abide by state and local guidelines concerning cleanliness and personal protective equipment. For now, our Wednesday performances will continue to take place without a live in-studio audience. Hey, this evening we bring to the Red Barn stage the Whiskey Charmers, a Detroit-based duo led by Carrie Shepard and Lawrence DeVersa. Welcome, the Whiskey Charmers.
Thanks for having us back.
Great to have you here.
Got my 2 plastic keys with a pizza coupon on one side. I slide one in the door and I wait for that green light. That's when I know everything is gonna be alright. And if I wake up feeling awful, I'll just make myself a waffle. Yeah, you know I might be liable to start reading up the Bible. Down the interstate, I found a little place where we can take a break. Don't need knives or forks or plates. Won't be letting in the maid. Stayed up much too late. Hope you'll always be my date. Wouldn't it be great living at the Super 8? picked out much too late. Hope you'll always be my day. Wouldn't it be great living at the Super 8? Thank you. Thanks so much.
And welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner. NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen, featuring authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta on Main Street in historic Georgetown, Kentucky. Broussard's is on Facebook. And ACCUPRINT, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and hopefully like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
On the Red Barn stage tonight is the Whiskey Charmers duo, Carrie Shepard and Lawrence DeVersa. With a sound which is decidedly Western, as in spaghetti Western, Carrie and Lawrence prefer a designation of Ameripolitan for their music. Their 2017 album, The Valley, won the Detroit Music Award for Outstanding Country Recording, and their most recent collection of music is called Lost on the Range. We'll talk at length about their history and their music in our program tonight. Meanwhile, welcome to the Red Barn stage, the Whiskey Charmers.
Thanks so much. Thank you. So we just played Super 8. That was from our recent record. And we're going to play a song now from our second record. It's called Melody. And we just recently had a couple, an older couple who got married, and they came to one of our shows and said they danced to this song at their wedding, and so that was pretty cool. And so, you know, everyone out there, feel free to dance if you want. If I lay down a melody, would you follow me tonight? If I lay down a harmony, would it make everything alright? And just for fun, at bass and drums, will you be here when the morning comes? Count me in to sing again. Hope you don't mind the state I'm in. If I lay down a brand new song, would you sing along tonight? If I lay down in an open field, would you meet me in the moonlight? And just for fun, at bass and drums, will you be here when the morning comes? Count me in to sing again. Hope you don't mind the state I'm in. Just for fun, at bass and drums, will you be here when the morning comes? Count me in to sing again. Hope you don't mind the state I'm in. Hope you don't mind. Hope you don't mind. Hope you don't mind the state I'm in. Thank you. Thanks so much. All right, the next song we're going to play is called Time Machine. And I had this idea, you know, there's some things I'd wanted to do differently in my past, and I thought it might be cool if I could just get a little toolbox and with some tools and make my own time machine. Well, I got out my Allen wrench and I built a time machine. Went to 1985 and all the years between. And I put down the throttle and repaired all my regrets. Then I patched up my mistakes I haven't made yet. And I went back to all the places where I long to be, and I looked into all the faces that I forgot to see. And I woke up this morning in 5083. Had a cup of coffee, then I saw what I could see. Sat around in my old house until I had my fill. Then rode on a dinosaur 'cause I had time to kill. I went back to all the places where I long to be, and I looked into all the faces that I forgot to see. No, I'll never run out of time. Got all my days, got all the nights, and I got the keys. I'm doing alright, just zooming by stars and firelight.
Almost.
To me? Thank you. All right, so this next song, this is on our second record, And it was in a batch of songs that I sent Lawrence, and it was that I had written a long time ago. And he said, just send me everything you have. And it was in a pile, I think in a folder called garbage. But he seemed to like it, and worked out. Darling, I'm leaving on the outbound train. If you meet me there, I will refrain, and I won't look into your eyes. You think they're full of alibis, alibis, alibis. Now you're painting your little pictures of me. Am I only who you think you see? When you step into my little mind, you might be surprised at what you find. No alibis, no alibis, no goodbyes, and no disguise. But don't you know I loved you so? When won't you stay? Please don't go. Darling, I'm leaving on the outbound train. If you meet me there, I will refrain, and I won't look into your eyes. You think they're full of alibis. No, I won't look into your eyes. You think they're full of alibis. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. All right, this next song, we're hoping to start recording our fourth record this winter, and the song that is a candidate for that. It's kind of about not letting what other people think get to you. Oh, why is it always the same? Life just a shame. Gonna buy me a ticket on a train. Gonna leave it in there in the pouring rain. No, nobody cares about me. I'm gonna be carefree. Go where the sun and the stars and the sky meet the sea. And I'm gonna run so wild up to the mountainside, down to the firelight. It'll be alright. Oh, why is it always the same? Well, I really don't know. Yeah, it's just a shame. Gonna buy me a ticket on a train. Gonna leave it in there in the driving rain. 'Cause nobody cares about me. I'm gonna be carefree. Go where the sun and the stars and the sky meet the sea. Now I'm gonna run so wild up to the mountainside, down to the firelight. It'll be alright. Nobody cares. 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 Thank you.
Well, hello, folks. Good evening to you all. I'm glad you're here with us on Red Barn Radio. Our guest this evening is Carrie Shepard and Lawrence DeVersa. They call themselves the Whiskey Charmers. They're from Detroit, Michigan. They've won some multiple awards, actually, in Detroit for their work that they've done. They have a Music Awards music nomination for Outstanding Americana Recording, Outstanding Country Recording, Best International Act of 2015 nomination. Anyway, and so that means something, and we're gonna learn about that tonight as we have our conversation. And we care, by the way. We do care. So yeah, it's really we care
Somebody
that you're
cares.
here. Yeah, we care that you're here. It's really nice to have you here, and great
Thank
to
you.
meet.
We're
great
happy
to
to be
here.
back.
Yeah, enjoy the music immensely, and I had such a nice time over the course of the last few days listening through your catalog.
Oh, great.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So it's nice. How did you two find each other? Can you tell me that?
Through our drummer.
Through your drummer.
Yes, we both played in bands with him at different times. And
Yeah.
you were there, so you know more about
Oh,
it.
yeah. Well, he knew I'd worked with him, and he knew I was looking to start a new project. And he said, "I've got this great guitar player. If you want to get a band together." And he sent me some videos of him on YouTube, and I was looking at them, thinking, "Yeah, I don't really see how that's a fit, but okay."
And that was how long ago?
8 years ago,
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys
But-
have been at it. You guys have been at it for a while,
Yeah.
I'd
Yep.
say. And so, before we get into the history of Whiskey Charmers, how about some history of yourselves? Maybe, like Carrie, maybe you could start off by telling us, like, what are some things that you would have rather done differently in your life? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, you did.
I don't know.
well,
I built the time machine.
I know you sang the Time Machine song.
You want to hear all my regrets?
No, I would like to hear. I would like to hear about you and how you got into music when you were young, and then ultimately at the latter part of this segment, tell how you got to Detroit.
Yeah, when I was younger, I always sang. I was just walking around singing. I think I drove my brother insane, singing Coal Miner's Daughter over and over and over.
Oh, really?
Begged my mother to make me stop. But I never thought I would actually perform. It's just something I enjoyed doing. And then later on in life, I just started writing all these songs, and I still didn't really consider going out and performing them. And then I would just kind of bring my guitar to work and play for people. And someone I worked with said, "You're going to go across the street. I'm booking you this gig, and you're going to go play." And that was in 2008, and ever since then, I've been completely hooked.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
great. So,
yeah.
so then you were writing songs. Were you writing songs like as early as like your high school years, or did it happen later?
No, I didn't really write songs until I was, in my probably about 20.
What do you think sort of propelled you to that place where you felt like, hey, I really want to express some of these ideas in my head in music form?
Well, when I was about 20, I got a guitar, so I
Yeah.
started, maybe wrote a song or two, and, I probably didn't think they were that great. And then I started listening to, some music by Lucinda Williams and Iris DeMent, and it really connected with me, and I thought, like, maybe these songs I hear on the radio, it just isn't really something I would do, but like these songs, they seemed like, okay, that's kind of would fit my personality. That's something I could probably do. And that really inspired me to start writing a lot. And then I started, I had personal, through some hard times, and that really fueled a lot of songs.
Mm-hmm. And Lawrence, you want to talk a little bit about yourself and your guitar history? You're playing a lot of guitar up there tonight.
I started playing guitar because we moved away from my piano teacher in third grade. I really loved it. I wanted to be, I wanted to play like Beethoven when I was like 8, and I carried around a portable cassette player with piano concertos in it. And it's probably really seemed like an odd kid, but and I have like really fleeting memories of thinking I was Elvis Presley when I was 3. I had a denim jacket. I made my mom sew rhinestones all over, and my brother wouldn't be seen anywhere near me. So it's always been something like that. And yeah, I started playing guitar. I got a bass, like a Gibson EB copy, and I don't know if I got bored with it or what, but I started playing my brother's guitar, and then him and my dad started teaching me. And yeah, I'm sure millions of people know what that's like. It's like a sickness. You just don't stop.
And were you in Michigan,
Yeah.
in the Detroit area?
Yeah,
Are both of you natives of that area?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Okay.
we both are. I've moved around, but I always end up back there.
Huh. Is there a story about how your families ended up in Detroit? Were they involved in the auto manufacturing industry?
My mother's family came from Germany in the mid-1800s, I think.
Huh.
And my great-grandfather came from Italy through the port of New York, I think, around the turn of the 20th century. He was, what do they call it, a birds of paradise. He would work and send his money back. and then go back in the winter. And he brought my grandpa over when he was 16. He went back to Italy and then died. My grandpa was there at 16 and had to fend for himself
Oh, wow.
after that. So,
Huh.
fun story.
Yeah, yeah. Carrie?
I know one set of grandparents, they came over from Russia on the boat. And I know I asked my grandpa one time, a guy was going on a cruise, and I told him I was going on the cruise. He said, I went on a boat once. Oh, no, he said, I went on a cruise once. But, like, not that kind of cruise. But, yeah, so he came, I know he came, and he was a plumber was his trade, and he was doing that, and then he got into construction from being a plumber. And my mom's side of the family, I think she's watching right now, but I'm not totally sure.
Hey, Mom.
I know her dad's dad was, I think he was a barber, and he worked in a hotel in downtown Detroit, if I'm getting this right, and I think he lived my grandpa lived in the hotel when he was a kid in Detroit, and he used to tell me about when he used to take the streetcars everywhere.
Huh. How is Detroit doing now? You know, we think about 7, 8 years ago, right? It was all in the news was Detroit's going bankrupt, and you know, how did the recovery go, and then how much COVID put kind of a kibosh on the growth of
Everything.
economies
Yeah.
in lots of cities, even ones that were already healthy and weren't sort of necessarily on the rise, but were thriving already. Has this been especially difficult for Detroit, given the fact that you guys were sort of trying to bounce back from that dark time? Did either of you? I didn't know if either of you have much thought about
You know,
that.
it's hard to say because we're not playing that much. You know, we have a handful of outside gigs since this all started. Everything's got canceled in pretty much early March.
Yeah,
and
sure.
We're just now getting a couple outside shows here and there, but
I'm kinda
Detroit
curious-
seems to be
Yeah.
doing great. But everybody seems to be really creative as far as like there's a lot of restaurants and bars. Like you've seen it around here with the outside seating, and people are getting
Sure.
really creative, and it seems to be working.
Do the two of you spend a lot of time performing and playing at venues that are in Detroit, in downtown?
Yeah.
There are a few, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play in Detroit, and then we play in the surrounding areas, and obviously, go out of state from time to time.
Yeah, we don't think of Detroit as a town that necessarily sort of embraces this kind of music. We always think of other forms of music when we think of Detroit. We think of more sort of urban music. I know you call yourself a Maripolitan. But so that's sort of interesting. We have interesting Kentucky stories, right, of Kentuckians who have moved north in search of better jobs.
Yeah.
As the coal industry, ebbed and flowed. So it was interesting to me to hear you all talk about Detroit as the place where you've always lived. That you didn't, your parents didn't have a story of coming from the South and moving up there.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, my grandfather worked for the railroad, and I guess they all played. My grandmother used to play. They had a Hammond organ in the living room, and they would play, and my uncle played accordion, and they would all, I never saw that. I think they were too old by the time I was around. But I'm pretty sure that's where I get it from, because my mom can't play the radio. Sorry, Mom.
Aw. Do both of you have large families or siblings?
No, I just did one.
Okay.
Yeah, one sibling is just, that's it.
Is he also a musician?
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
yeah, he taught me.
Okay. Did the two of you play?
We were in bands, he actually, when I had a problem in the band I was in, he sold all of his guitar equipment to buy a bass rig so he could play in the band and keep us going for a while.
Huh.
So yeah, that was fun.
No, I'm really eager to talk with you guys about your sound and sort of where that comes from. Your recorded sound has you use a lot of reverb on your voice, for instance, and on the guitar, which is cool. I hear all kinds of things. I'm always hesitant to make comparisons, but I hear all different kinds of sounds, and yeah, definitely the Western sound from the '60s. where did that, where does that come from? When you read, the introduction to your band on your website, talks about spaghetti westerns and whatnot. Were those somebody else's ideas?
Yeah, I think it kind of just happened because I've always just tried to play what I think, sounds right with what she does. And
Yeah, it's just kind of spontaneous.
Yeah,
It's like we just started playing. We didn't like think about like we're gonna have this kind of sound at all. We just started playing, and then people kept saying like completely different people at different times. Like you sound like driving in the desert in New Mexico, or you sound like some bar in between Arizona. And
that was my favorite. You sound like music that would be playing at a dingy bar in between New Mexico and Arizona.
And it's like people just kept saying that, and we're like, we just were playing, and so it's just interesting. It's just this, I don't know, this like spontaneous thing that happens when we play together.
Well, it must be encouraging on some levels.
Yeah.
It says that your music is evocative.
Yeah.
And calls up pictures in people's minds, and I mean that to me seems like a terrific compliment.
Oh yeah, it's so great. We love hearing like what people, what our music, makes people think.
what do you call that music that you play?
Yeah, right. We don't know. Yeah.
Well, folks, you're listening. What do you call that music that the Whiskey Charmers play? We're going to get back to more conversation with these fine people, Carrie and Lawrence, in a little bit. They're going to do another set right now for us. Welcome back, the Whiskey Charmers.
Thanks so much. So this is a song from our new album. It's called Crossfire. And it's sort of I like to think of it as a Western novel in a song, because I could never write a novel. Right. I followed him across the land. He had a gun in his hand. He said, I'm not the kind of man to follow, because I cheat and rob and kill and always lie, always will. I'll leave you in some dark and dusty hollow, and I've got nothing to admire, and you'll get caught. I followed him across the land. He had a gun in his hand. He said, I'm not the kind of man to follow, because I cheat and rob and kill. I always lie, always will. I'll leave you in some dark and dusty hollow, and I've got nothing to admire, and you'll get caught in the crossfire. And since that white hot day in June, I kept his fires, licked his wounds. I dragged him from his horse as he lay bleeding. Then I pulled the bullets from his arm. I hid him in some dusty farm. He said that I had something he was needing, but I got nothing to admire, and you'll get caught in the crossfire. And in the morning sun, I took his horse and I took his gun, and I rode off all alone with my heart cold as stone. because I cheat and rob and kill, always lie, always will. I'm not the kind of girl you should follow. I'll take your horse by the reins, I'll ride away across the plains, and I'll leave you empty, dark and cold and hollow. And I've got nothing to admire, and you'll get caught in the crossfire. Thank you. Sometimes I cut his end solo short on that. I get in trouble. Okay. All right, so here's another song that I think will be on our upcoming record. It was written during quarantine, and, you know, it's about, you know, hoping one day we'd be able to get out and play music again because, you know, we didn't know what was going to happen, but
Here we are.
here we are. The sun goes down on the horizon. The stars are coming out to play. Take each step so slowly as I climb on up to the stage. Bring on the nightlight, bring on the stage lights, bring on the moonlight. I wanna play. Drive down the white lines, right past the city lights. Come on out tonight, get carried So this is a song from our first record. It's about an innocent fugitive on the run. I got a neon motel room just for you, and you can bring whoever you want to. There's nothing in particular we gotta do, and the sign flashes in between red and blue. Just keep on driving down Interstate 3, right on past the blockade. They put up for me, and I could use some lemonade and some company. I think I got about 27 hours to be free. And the sign keeps on flashing with the fireflies in the air. And I'm not even guilty, but the highway police, they don't care. When you get here, just knock on door number 2. I got a nice little quaint highway view. You know I always take good care of you, and the sign flashes in between red and blue. Oh, the sign keeps on flashing with the fireflies in the air. And I'm not even guilty, but the highway police, they don't care. Oh, the sign keeps on flashing with the fireflies in the air. And I'm not even guilty, but the highway police, they don't care. No, I'm not even guilty, but the highway police, they don't care. Thank you.
Hey, before we get back to music with the Whiskey Charmers, I'd like to tell you about what's happening next time on Red Barn Radio. We welcome Wayne Graham. Wayne Graham wants you to know this, though. They are a band. They're not a person. They are two brothers who play rock music from the mountains of Kentucky, down by Whitesburg. The band was formed in 2010 as a duo between brothers Kenny and Hayden, as a vehicle for the two to release and record material following Kenny's completion of recording school. The project was named Wayne Graham after the brothers' departed grandpas, Wayne and Graham. Be sure to join us online next week for Wayne Graham. I know you'll enjoy it. Check out our social media for updates on this upcoming streamed performance. Red Barn Radio, Roots Music, Southern Style. Now on with tonight's Red Barn Radio program. Red Barn Radio is brought to you live on all of our social media platforms from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the city of Lexington, Kentucky. And now please welcome back the Whiskey Charmers to the Red Barn stage.
Thanks so much. So yeah, when we were kind of locked in our quarantine, I had gotten this metal detector probably the year before at a garage sale for $1, and I was just bored, so I started using it in my backyard, and I just got completely obsessed, and I was out there for hours every day, and eventually, not at my house, but eventually I went up north in northern Michigan to a property that had an 1800s homestead, and I found this pocket watch in the ground. It's kind of this moment, you pull it out of the ground and you're like, oh, what did I find? Because most of the time it's just complete garbage. So I found this pocket watch, and you start thinking about, you know, who dropped it there and what had, you know, the history, and then, you know, they start thinking about your own life and your time here. So this song's inspired by that. It's called Pocket Watch, and it's a new song. Well, today at 5 o'clock I found an old pocket watch. It didn't tell the time, didn't tell me anything, but I began to sing, 'cause I got time tonight. Won't you swing on by, and I will leave on the light. 'Cause you and me, it's our time, that's right. One day, so long ago, they dropped it there. Why, I don't know. Maybe it was time for letting go, and down it went into that hole until tonight. Come on by, I will leave on the light. 'Cause you and me, it's our time. Won't you swing on by? The golden light is on the horizon, sun sinking in the west. Come on, sit right beside me. You're the one I love the best. Thank you.
That's fun.
This next song we're going to do is called Embers. We've tried to put it on several albums, but it's never quite made it. I know it's one of Lawrence's favorite songs that we do. I gave it my best, and I gave it my all. Well, I gave you all my love, and if I can recall, and I gave you my heart, and I gave you my mind. Well, I gave you all I could, even precious time. But it's neither here nor there. It's all just embers in the air, floating around without a care somewhere. It's all just scattered, it's the time. It's all just fragments of my mind. It's all just broken bottles of wine and a love that died on the vine. I guess you weren't just like all the rest. Yeah, they really broke my heart, but you did it the best. But it's neither here nor there. It's all just embers in the air, floating around without a care somewhere. It's all just scattered bits of time. It's all just fragments of my mind. It's all just broken bottles of wine and a love that died on the vine. Thank you. All right, this next song's for anybody that's ever been on an emotional roller coaster or a real roller coaster. It's called Roller Coaster. Been racing round in circles, even though I'm just a standing still. Been falling, dropping, my heart's been stopping at the top of the highest hill. And baby, I think you like it, think it keeps you satisfied. But it ain't no fun for me, I'm done with your roller coaster ride. You can stay in the dark in your amusement park. Think you like it there anyway. But I won't stay in the dark in your amusement park. No, I'm going home today. Well, maybe you think it's funny the way we twist and turn around, but it ain't for me. I'm gonna break on free. I'm tired of screaming upside down. You can stay in the dark in your amusement park. Think you like it there anyway. But I won't stay in the dark in your amusement park. No, I'm going home today. if you want me, take me. Don't hide me away. And if you want me, take me. 'Cause I won't hide another day. I've been racing round in circles, even though I'm just a standing still. I've been falling, dropping, my heart's been stopping at the top of the highest hill. And baby, I think you like it, think it keeps you satisfied. But it ain't no fun for me, I'm done with your roller coaster ride. It ain't no fun for me, I'm done with your roller coaster ride. Thanks. He likes to fake me out. I never know when he's going to end that one.
Folks, you're listening to the Whiskey Charmers this evening on Red Barn Radio. They are Carrie Shepard and Lawrence DeVersa, and they're from Detroit. And if you enjoy their music, there's lots more of it. I think I heard them say that they have another album coming up after Lost on the Range, or?
It's in the planning stages.
Yes.
Oh, all right. They're already in the
Yeah.
planning stages of a new album, and I'm going to call Lost on the Range the new album. All their stuff is on Spotify, I believe.
Yep.
Is that right? And it's got a terrific sound to it. If you like the sort of signature sound that you're hearing tonight, you're going to hear lots of that in their tunes, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I would like to know what else you guys do when you're not playing music. You parent, obviously, that you mentioned that, and that's a big job.
Yeah, I have 3 kids at home.
Woo. Okay.
Yep.
And do you have another sort of job that you?
I paint
do?
houses.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
All right. You have your own painting business.
Yep.
You work for somebody.
Yeah. I work for myself. Yeah.
Oh, all right. And that works well with this this interest you have.
No,
in music.
it does. That's part of why I did it, because I was working at a pretty crappy job up till the summer of last year, and the idea of just having to ask somebody if I can go to the doctor in the afternoon or things like that, I got kind of fed up with it.
Yeah.
And,
Understandable.
never looked back.
All right.
And it's worked out so far.
Well, good. And these times were not too bad. My impression is that actually these times have been pretty good for people in your field.
Yeah, it has so far.
People have a little bit of that stimulus money to do some home.
Everybody's
improvement
home and they're
projects.
staring at their old walls or their old siding, and they've decided to do something about it.
Yeah, that's right. And your husband looks at you and says, "Hey, why don't we paint?" And we say, "Yeah, let's call Lawrence
FM
and get him to
painting.
come over and paint it for us better."
That's it. Better and faster.
What about you, Carrie? Do you have some work you do outside? I'm kind of curious to know. You were telling a story earlier about coming to your workplace with your guitar.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Where were you working then?
Well, then I used to work in film and advertising.
Explain.
Come on.
Well, a long time ago, I used to work actually in Hollywood. I used to be an assistant film editor and actually sync the dailies on film, on 35 millimeter film.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, all right. You've got a lot of kindred spirits in this room here. A lot of people who've done video work for a long time. Our producer up there, he would talk a blue streak with you about that. And so, how long ago was that?
A long time ago. Let's just say a long
Did you?
time ago.
Okay. Did you go to school for that, Carrie?
Well, I went to the University of Michigan and I was an English literature major, and I had a minor in film production,
Okay.
where we had different roles and we did took on different roles, and I really liked the editing, so that's what I wanted to do. moved out to LA, worked on feature films, and then I came back. I ended up coming back to Michigan because I was going through a divorce and I had kids and my family was, in Michigan. And they didn't have a film industry at the time, but they had advertising. So I ended up working in that field. And recently, in the last couple of years, I had my first job that was non-advertising, non-film related, and I do accounts payable for a company that makes vision sensors for robots.
Okay.
Yes. So I like to tell people that I play music at night, but paying invoices is my real passion.
And so are you good with numbers, and are you satisfied with the work that you do, or is
I'm not that good with numbers actually, but I guess good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, but this works nice as a pairing of things that you do. How much time do you actually spend when there isn't a pandemic? How much time do you spend, the two of you, playing music and traveling?
A lot. I mean, it's
Used to be
great
a
because
lot,
I just take I have some vacation time, so I pretty much use all of it. And when we tour, we'll try and take fit what we can into a bookend a weekend. Take a couple days, and I don't know what the longest time out we've been.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
But yeah, we've been out to Wyoming and for some festivals, and we go down south a lot. My mom lives in Asheville, North Carolina.
Nice
so
town.
So we were going there a lot and using that as a base because you can go so many different places. You can go to Nashville, you can go to Hilton Head.
And do you get some good gigs down in Asheville? Have you broken that town yet?
Yeah. We actually we had a gig that was lined up. It was a ticketed event, and it got canceled because of the pandemic. But that was a ISIS music hall in Asheville.
Carrie, do you do all the songwriting for for Whiskey Charmers, or the majority of the lyrics?
7%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
All the lyrics, yeah.
okay, so you do all the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've really been enjoying your song. I like your song subjects. I really love the idea. Again, they're just really evocative. The idea of finding the watch and where do you go with that. I really liked the very first tune that you did, Super 8.
Oh, Super 8.
Yeah, you must be very proud of that song.
I am very proud. And I had we were in a Super 8, and he was in the shower. And I wrote the line, which seems to be the line that most people like, that if I wake up feeling awful, I'll just make myself a waffle. Because, Super 8 has those waffle makers.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's the best part
I was already excited to get up in the morning and make the waffles. And he came out of the shower. I'm like, listen to this line. And I was super excited about it. And then I kind of wrote the song around it. And that ended up being a crazy trip because we were having fun at the Super 8. And then the next day.
Was it that night?
Was it that night?
It was that night. We a catastrophic transmission failure right outside of St. Louis, about a half hour from our next show.
And we were towed, I don't know, some ridiculous 20 miles or something.
Yeah.
We were towed to our gig, and my car stayed in St. Louis for 2 months.
Months,
or
yeah.
something.
Well, maybe if you, at the Super 8, had you done a little more Bible reading and a little less waffle making,
maybe. It was great, though. Was that the Super 8 that the guy made us the sign?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
It was
That was the one in
time.
Western Michigan that charged us the deposit that stayed in our bank account for 3 months.
Yeah. We did stay at a Super 8 one time, and we were going to play on Blue Plate
Knoxville.
Special, actually.
Oh, yeah, down in Knoxville.
Yeah, and we go to check into our room, and there's a sign in our room. It says, "Good luck on the Blue Plate Special." Like the guy who worked at the clerk.
Yeah, the clerk behind the desk.
He saw our
At the Super 8.
He saw our email address was a band address, so he looked us up.
Yeah, and he's become a fan, and we still keep in contact with him.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, talk about another song or two of yours that have sort of gained some traction. It seems to me that I touched on one song, maybe that was an early song of yours, or some early music of yours, maybe that was picked up by a video game company. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell that story, because that seems really interesting.
I saw a random Facebook post, You know, I was bored and scrolling, and I saw somebody asking, "Hey, Detroit bands, would you be interested in being part of this?" And I told her about it, and we sent them a message, and it was this funny thing because
Like part of what?
it was like for music and video games, they said, but it didn't seem real specific at the time, and we were like, "We'll see what they have to say." But what we didn't hear back from for a year,
Yeah.
and then a year later, they liked these 3 songs they picked, and
All
then-
early music of
Yeah,
yours?
off the first record, yeah, and then because we hadn't had the second one out by then, and then we didn't hear back from them for another year, and then the game's in
Slow deal.
production, and what
Yeah,
was
and then
it?
they said
were,
this is perfect. And we found we found out it was through this video game. Detroit's called Detroit Become Human, and it takes place in Detroit in the year 2038. And they actually went to Detroit and
Mapped the whole city.
mapped out like visually the city. And when you look at the game, it's like there's parts that look exactly like Detroit, but it's in the it's in the future. Some of it's exactly the same. And so we didn't know where our songs were going to be in the game. They couldn't tell us until the game was released. So after the game was released, people were posting their like video playthroughs, like their
Oh, of
walkthroughs.
course, right.
So that's how we finally saw it. And it turns out all our songs are in this bar called Jimmy's Bar. And you go in, you go into the bar, and these 2 main characters talk, and you can hear all 3 of the songs. They just rotate in the background.
if
So
you stay
there's-
in the bar long enough, you'll hear all 3.
Yeah, and it's really crazy because the game's like in a million languages, so you can go online and look at videos of the characters. They'll be talking in Russian with our music in the back, or all kinds.
It's super
Oh,
cool.
you
It's really
guys.
cool,
It's
yeah.
super cool.
And we've just gotten a lot of like super nice messages from like young people who really like the songs.
So all young people in other countries?
Everywhere,
There's so many
yes.
countries.
Like
What's our #1 country on Spotify? or-
one of them is Turkey.
Istanbul's one
Yeah.
of our top cities.
We get a lot of we get a couple messages from Turkey. One just yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
One's like, I am sitting in a cafe. I'm doing the accent. I can't hear the accent. It's on YouTube, but it's like I'm sitting in a cafe in Turkey, drinking coffee, and listening to your music. I love it, and
This is so great.
yeah, it's so great.
I learned so much on this show. No, this is terrific. And does that inspire you and make you wonder if there might be other similar opportunities for you, or is this giving way to other
it
opportunities?
definitely tells you there's hope.
Yeah, because
Lets me believe there is.
Yeah, because we used to go play gigs, and there would be like, sometimes we'd play gigs, and we wouldn't grab that. It's like we didn't feel like we got the attention of the whole audience. But then there would be like 1 or 2 people that come up to us, and they were like, "Wow," and really loved it. And we kept thinking like, "Oh, maybe there's more people.
Gotta be more of them out
Hopefully,
there.
there's more than those 2 people." And now
Yeah.
it seems like there's some more people.
Well, I hope as a result of folks listening to the program this evening and then viewing your videos, your YouTube Red Barn Radio videos online, that you'll find some new audiences, especially in Kentucky and West Virginia, where we, two states where we broadcast a lot of shows, and I just have really enjoyed listening to what you do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a great night. I wish you well with your writing, and it seems like you don't have a horribly difficult time writing. Is that right? Are you able to put out a lot of
Yeah, I mean,
material?
as long as I take the time to sit down with my guitar, something usually comes out.
Is that what it is? Is it sitting down with a guitar, or is it is that where is that when the ideas come, when you have a guitar in hand, or is it more just about sort of being more
Yeah.
attuned to what's going on around you?
Yeah, it's when I have my guitar in my hand. I just kind of play around with it and see what comes out.
Yeah. So, real quickly, what would you say about Lost on the Range in terms of sort of how you see that as a sort of a progression from where you were the last time you all were in the studio? What kinds of things have you learned, over the course of the last couple of CDs that song collections?
Well, we're
you've put
definitely
together?
better at being in the studio together. We've learned what works. Our engineer has gotten better every time as well. We've used the same studio. And shout out to Rooftop Recordings in Grand Blanc, Michigan, yes.
Yeah,
Does
Dave
it pay
Rose.
to work with the same people?
Well, it pays to work with him because he's about as easy as it gets.
You mean he's got an easygoing temperament?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
great to work with, and he was our bass player on the first record.
Ah,
He played bass on the first record. He was on a couple of songs on the last. He's been on every record actually. I just thought about that.
and are you all able to exchange with him about the kind of sound you want? You sort of suggested to me a little bit earlier that your sound wasn't really intentional. It's just something that happened.
Right.
So now that it's happened, okay? So now that it's happened, are you going to perpetuate that? Or when you work with a producer in a studio, are you going to say, "Hey, listen, this is a key element of our sound. We really want this to happen."
We just kind of mic everything up
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah, it's very also spontaneous, especially with our
yeah.
drummer, Brian Fairview, who, you know, is
Brought the
He's
two of you
played
together.
different on every record. You know, from the really simple kit in the first record that you can hear.
Yes.
The second record became a little more, you know, I guess I could say a little more like rocked out and dynamic, because as we were setting the drums up, the engineer Dave was taking the rack toms off the drum set. He's like, "I'm gonna take these. You're not gonna use those." And Brian took it as some kind of a challenge and was like, "No, leave him there." So now, you know, he added that, and it added a lot to the songs.
and it's also very spontaneous because the way we record in that studio, we record the three of us,
Yeah.
the two of us with Brian. We play and lay down the drum tracks to get all playing together, the three of us.
Yeah.
So it's another kind of really pretty organic.
Well, it sounds like fun. It sounds like you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, folks, I'm talking with Carrie Shepard and Lawrence DeVersa. They are the Whiskey Charmers. They're from Detroit, and we've had them this evening on Red Barn Radio, and they have one more set of music to play. We're so glad you're with us. And Whiskey Charmers, we're glad you could make the trip down here. I wish you all well. Lawrence, with your kids and remote hybrid learning, hybrid instruction, and all of that stuff, I wish you both well.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Let's welcome back the Whiskey Charmers.
Thanks so much. This is a song from our new record. It's called Honeybee. On a winter's night, in an empty sky, a fallen star caught my eye. I followed it down the road. Where it went, didn't know. Sparks, they fell all through the air. It flew away somewhere, and I'm floating like a honeybee, and I'm falling through the cracks of my misery. I'm up and down like a shooting star, and I'm walking through the sky, wondering where you are, wondering where you are, oh, where you are. Down the lane by the frozen lake, it fell there by mistake, and I'm floating like a honeybee, and I'm falling through the cracks of my misery. I'm up and down like a shooting star, and I'm walking through the sky, wondering where you are, wondering where you are, oh, where you are. you. All right, so we're going to play another song. This is also from the new record. And this is dedicated to anybody. It's dedicated to any astronauts out there, or just anybody that's been to space. If anybody's been to space, let us know.
Ready?
It's dark tonight with my engines all aglow. I'm lost in space, where I am, I don't know. And no one ever calls me on the radio. It's always night, and the night moves so slow. Well, I'm lost at sea, lost in the galaxy. There's no one else tonight, no one else but me, still afloat alone. Most of my hope is gone. Gotta find a rocky spot that I can land upon. No land in sight, just interstellar dust through my telescope. But I'm not giving up. Turn the dial on the radio. Someone might call, maybe you, I don't know. Well, I'm lost at sea, lost in the galaxy. There's no one else tonight, no one else but me, still afloat alone. Most of my hope is gone. Gotta find a rocky spot that I can land upon. Thank you. Thanks so much. So this is one of the games, or one of the songs that plays in the game in Jimmy's Bar. This seems to be the one that people like the most. Gonna stay on the straight and narrow. Gonna stay on the righteous path. Gonna stay away from love's arrow. Gonna take my life back. Well, I've been a sinner, you've been a saint, and I'm bad news, baby, you ain't. And I hope you got no more complaints, 'cause I'm staying on the straight and narrow. And all I need is a song. Yeah, all I need is a song. Won't you help me see right from wrong? Won't you take me back where I belong? Come on, come on. Sing along. Well, I've been a sinner, you've been a saint, and I'm bad news, baby, you ain't. Well, I hope you got no more complaints, 'cause I'm staying on the straight and narrow. Gonna stay on the straight and narrow. Gonna stay on the righteous path. Gonna stay away from love's arrow. Gonna take my life back. Take my life back. Take my life back. Take my life back. Ooh, ooh. Thanks so much.
Hey, a big thanks to the Whiskey Charmers for being with us on Red Barn Radio this evening. We also thank our volunteers and staff for their help in making our production happen each and every week. Thank you all for listening to our webcast, watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio, roots music, Southern style. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. And now, folks, once again, please give it up for the Whiskey Charmers here on the Red Barn stage.
Thank you. We're going to send you off with a song called Happy Trails. Be kind, be sweet to all that you meet, 'cause we're all going down a one-way street. Maybe for now you will survive, but nobody gets out of here alive. So So kiss your wife, kiss your dog, maybe sit on a log or fly right out into space. Save an alien race. Put up your sails, follow every trail, or just sit in your room by the light of the moon. But be kind, be sweet to all that you meet, 'cause we're all going down a one-way street. La da da 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 la la.
All right, the Whiskey Charmers. Well, that's all from Red Barn Radio for this week. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio and hear us worldwide as we stream live on the web on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America every week. Be sure to check out all of our social media for all updates to our upcoming schedule. And now from all of us here at Red Barn Radio to all of our friends worldwide, it is our hope that you have a terrific week. Keep working together to be safe and healthy. And until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.